The Raconteurs are a band who are known as the Saboteurs in Australia, and I don't know why that is the case. They're from the States. They're fronted by Jack White of White Stripes, and there are three other guys. Some of them have been in other bands, but I've not heard of the bands or the guys, so I've got nothing to say about that. They were formed in 2005. They've had a hiatus for a few years in the middle of that somewhere, and they've had 3 albums so far. Hi, my name's Dan. So this was the first album by the Raconteurs, and it's my first time listening to it. I have come across the Raconteurs before because I reviewed one of their other albums earlier in this list. So apparently this album was kind of a bit of a mishmash of different things from different origins. So they were just getting together. Some of these were songs that Jack White had put together for the White Stripes, and it hadn't actually happened, and some of the other members had done some things, and they kind of all brought it together, and here's what we got. And I would broadly describe this, I think, fairly confidently as rock. It harks back to the 60s quite a bit, and some of the critics have highlighted that, especially I would say the vocal harmonies. There's a little bit of a feeling of psychedelia, particularly in the way they handle the vocals, but also occasionally there's kind of, the change of the textures goes to a more kind of mellow, psychedelic kind of feel, in a little way, not in a big way. And the other kind of strong influence or strong kind of stylistic word to use, I think, would be garagey kind of stuff here. So I feel like over the years, as I've come across Jack White and the stuff that he's done with the White Stripes and now with the Raconteurs, that I'm quite a fan. I like the way he approaches the music. He managed to make the White Stripes pretty good, despite the fact that there are only 2 of them. He managed to make a lot of the space that made. So he has a tendency, or he has with the White Stripes, and I think this is carried over quite well into the Raconteurs, to use different textures and dynamics, and to just use, despite the fact that it's quite a rocky guitar sound that he uses, there's quite a bit of nuance to what he does. I think it's done well, so I like it. And there's more for him to play about with here. I believe he did the production for the album. So of course there's more instruments involved, but it's still got that feeling of tightness to it, and it's still got that kind of the similar kind of approach, I would say. A couple of the critics or places describing this use the term power pop for this, and I'm not a great fan of the term anyway, but I'm not sure I would call it that. I think maybe that's just because I don't fully understand what power pop really means. I would say it's definitely kind of more rock and a bit of kind of garagey stuff, a bit of kind of almost art rock at times. It's quite intelligently done, certainly musically it's done like that. But maybe the kind of power pop thing comes in because there is a tendency to have verses and choruses and hook lines and things. So it's quite recognisable songs that you can get into really quite quickly on 2 or 3 lessons. You recognise things and know them fairly well. So yeah, definitely there's a richness to it musically. There's some interesting words, nothing that I particularly want to pull out, but overall I quite enjoyed this. It's a decent album. So that's what I think. I'd love to know what you think, so please talk to me through the comments box. And that's it from me for now.
Girl, you got those hands that heal. Help me get in touch